All right, so we are going to customize the 964. We got a lot of plans. All right, so we've got this 1991 Carrera 4. Came out of Norway, so a Euro spec. You can tell by the side marker light and the better stance than the American version. No offense, Americans, but really great car, and we're going to do some customizing to it. We got some LED headlights to upgrade. So these are Marimoto's lights. Look pretty cool. So that was popped up on a Facebook group page. We'll open them up and make them look clean, but you got a projector in there, a black trim. But we're going to put these on as kind of one of the first things we're doing to this car to make it a little more unique, a little more modern, but not over the top. So we'll let you know how this goes. All right, so we've got it out of the plastic. They came nicely packaged, well protected. Quality looks pretty solid. I think the front ends just look gorgeous through the clear. You can go with clear, or you can go with fluted, I think, but I like that setup. Kind of a little bit of the fluted on top, clear in the middle with a projector. Kind of some funky wings, maybe too modern for some, but I dig it. I think when we put this on that baby, that's gonna look pretty good. So yeah, I mean, overall so far, package is super nice. They look like a nice build quality. They come with the appropriate adapted plugs and looks like a wiring harness in there. So we'll get into the installation pretty quickly and see if it truly is DIY plug and play. All right, so sometimes you might have a Euro spec car, which means these headlight buckets don't have tabs that the Marimoto lights are supposed to attach to. So after endless searching on the internet, I found nothing. I just had to get creative myself. So the fix here, a few things. One, you might have a Euro spec, and you might have a Euro spec with vacuum actuated headlight leveling. So this is really rare. It was only available in European cars, but there's a knob inside the dash, and I could actually move that knob up and down. It sends a vacuum line pull all the way through this. It was hooked up to that actuator, and it makes the headlights move up and down. So you can either have your high beams or low beams. If you're under load, you can adjust where they're steering, all from right at the driver's seat, which is cool. Like great technology for 1991, but not great if you're trying to put LED headlights. So a couple things you got to do. One, you've got to disconnect those tubes, and then you've got to plug it, because otherwise that vacuum is going to cause you issues at the motor, because all this routes all the way back into the motor. So these will have to be plugged. And then the second oddity here, because there's no tabs, what you have to do is actually take apart your old H4s, like I've done, and you're actually going to take the mounting rings off of those that hold those snug, and you are going to put those mounting rings, and this is tricky here with that one again because they're leveling, and these screws you got to just kind of wedge them in to the sides. But you put the mounting ring, it comes with the car. This one's quite corroded, a little, it's just kind of beat up and old, but you put that mounting ring on, and then that will mount it. It's a tight fit. You have to actually hang it kind of on the top because there's a bit of a lip up here. Hang it, press it in, and then get that screw down here in the bottom in, and they do feel quite firm and snug. And then your colored rings will go over the top of that to trim it out. So I'll show you that in a minute, but it's a lot of pressure to push that down onto the rubber gasket, get it clamped, and then screw in that single screw on the bottom of the clamp. And we'll see, but I think that's the fix. You just have to kind of take apart your old one and make a new one out of it. All right, so the lights are in, nice and firm, both installed. We got the DRL jumpers routed through the grommets and up into the fuse box for the rest of the instructions. So I think we're ready to test it, see if we ruined anything.
Not bad.